Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. John Lavinia here with my buddy, Christian Henneke. How you doing, Christian?
Hey guys, I'm psyched. I just got a bunch of bananas in exchange for 4 avocados from my neighbor.
Well, there's that. Yeah, that's part of living in Hawaii. And by the way, the matching T-shirts thing was not premeditated. I don't know why he's wearing navy blue today. Uh, but we wanted to just chat with you a little bit about what's been going on with us, and I think some surprising stuff for people who know our background and our experience, and all the stuff we've done in the online and home business space for years. And yeah, Christian, where you want to
Not just,
go with this?
I would say not surprising. It's shocking. It really is
Hmm.
shocking. I've been talking to people. I'm sure you have been too. They're like, "What are you doing? You're joking. Like, where's the camera? I'm being punked." And it's a departure for a reason from all the stuff we've done all these years. And I'm interested in trying to communicate in a way with my old friends to where they can hear me. And it's tricky, I think, because in a lot of cases it's tricky because we're so geared. A lot of us are so geared. Uh,
Higher risk, like
I don't know. I'm trying to think about how to even say this. I think a lot of us have forgotten what we really want, what we're really after. I think that's what's going on. I know I did for 15, 18 years. I totally lost sight of my end game. Like, why am I even doing all this stuff? And I think that's where a lot of people are operating from. It's just, they're so focused on putting their next, the next step, taking the next step. They haven't looked up in a while to go, where am I even going? you know? So, we try to communicate. We care about you guys. A lot of you guys go, John and I and Shannon have mixed audiences. A lot of you guys, we're familiar faces to you, and we do care about you. And I don't know, so some of what I think, John, and people look at you and Shannon and people like us, and they go, "Oh, they're special." And John is special. You guys are right. John is a special guy. But don't forget that I used to wake up every day, and I was a plumber. I'm not going to describe what I did. You don't need me to. It was gross. I was a plumber, and that's what I did. My wife went to work at Starbucks. We sat in traffic. We had all the same survival headaches. Or, hopefully you're not survival level, and hopefully you're a few notches or several notches above that, hopefully. But a lot of us, I just want you to remember, I've been bankrupt, I've been homeless, like I've been there.
And you've been on top of the world. You've made
Yeah,
I witnessed you make millions of dollars.
yeah,
So,
yeah, and vice versa. And I'm not unique. The Lavinias have a lot of those things in common with me. We all start somewhere, and my thought right now is, I think if it isn't because you've lost sight of what you're after, maybe the other big part of our audience, John, are people that are like, okay, but I don't even know where to begin. Yes, I want to change my life. Yes, I would love to have flexibility, freedom, mobility. Of course. Are you kidding me? Of course I want those things. Yet I've seen you guys show up in the marketplace offering these things that just don't make sense to me. So I continue to do this on the sidelines. And if you are like that and you're waiting to see something that makes sense, I think now's the time that you ought to poke your head in and take a look, get some of the details on what we're focused on.
well, I think the thing that for me, I'll just speak for myself. The problem has been the roller coaster. And as much as I like amusement parks, I don't want my life to run like one. So So it's the ups and the downs, right? And there's always going to be ups and downs in life. But do we have to live in a casino where every day is all chips in and like, super high risk and the wins are great, the losses are devastating? It's like, I'm 48 years old, and we got people who have worked with us in a variety of things and made a lot of money with us, and we've got people who just weren't cut out for that sort of thing as well, and so what I'm thinking is the mature approach, right? Let's say you're not 20 years old and just trying to get in the game, right? And you got the blinders on in a bit of a euphoric state where there's no risk, man. I'm going to bust through walls. Let's say that's not your approach, right? Well, is there something that you can do that would give stability, but at the same time have, the upside potential of some pretty damn spectacular? Kristian, you were just mentioning a buddy of yours did about $1.5 million in his first year. So that's not hey, we're doing like, tiny little business, right? So it's nice and safe and no risk. You could actually have a no risk condition and still have huge upside potential.
Yeah.
If you got the right, the right methods, the right, and the right plan, really, the right plan. And I think that's the thing that people are looking for, is something that's reliable, that's predictable, and that's been how we've been received with this. Once people are past, the shock of, what is the modality, and then they see the stats, and then they're thinking, well, my goodness, it's about time. It's about time. And yeah, we still have, lots of things that we can do. I got multiple businesses, right? We're in different spaces, but if we could build on rock for once, like proven rock, that's really nice, right?
Yeah.
Nobody gets hurt, right? Especially from like a company standpoint. It's like, who's running this show, right? Do they have policies? Do they know what those policies are? And are they able to follow their own policies? Most often, in my experience, the answer is no.
Yeah,
No,
it's just for show. It's just for show. I was just talking to a friend about some of the hot MLMs out there right now. And I'm not going to name names, but one has something to do with HGH gel and the other has something to do with CBD oil. And I think
what is that? What is? I don't even know what that is.
Okay, well, I think the leadership, the corporate leadership, usually, from what I've seen, they want the field out of control, making all kinds of absurd claims, foaming at the mouth, getting all emotional about it. People are emotional, and that stuff it can spread like wildfire, and often it does. So I honestly think, the corporate policy is what the lawyers say it has to be, but then corporate turns their back on it and says, get after it, go tell your stories, and they just wait for some sort of regulatory pressure or regulatory problem before they try to course correct. It's just what we've done on and off so many times over the years. We've gone into these situations that are geared for the 2 or 3 percenters. I think you call them magical unicorns. I love that.
I don't. I think you called them that.
Oh, okay. Somebody calls them that. I copied somebody. I don't remember who. Yeah, so if you're not a magical unicorn, then you're on the sidelines going, looks fun. Wish I could do that, So we're building on rock. How? How are we building on rock? I think that I'm thinking of the most underserved parts of our relationships, our friends, our audience, John, and I'm thinking about these people that are really busy. Maybe they have 2 jobs, they got kids activities, they got church, school, work, they got all this stuff going on. How does somebody like that? Okay, so we're building on rock. What does the work look like? Like how? How do I do it? Can I do it? What's the answer there? And I think process is almost as important as where we're applying the process. So we want to show you where. We want to show you the rock. Of course, that's a separate video. You know how we work. So that'll be under this video, or reply and get it from John or something. But the process, let's take a second and talk about process. So what we know from experience we have to do is create a leverable situation, a leverageable process that isn't time consuming, isn't complicated, and isn't expensive. So how about free, very time efficient. Oops. And very simple. Did I just do that? I did. It was an accident. I wasn't giving John the finger or you. Simple, time efficient, and free. That's what the process is, and it's naturally inherently explosive. Even if you're on the other side of the screen right now, going, "But I've never succeeded in anything. I've joined a bunch of, I've joined. I've never made money, or I've only ever made a little bit of money." Don't sweat that. We can still help you create a launch style result, and launch style checks follow launch style results. We really can help you do that. And we'd love to show you how we do that. Time efficient, very simple, and free.
Yeah.
I think that covers it.
That's it. So yeah, check it out. Get a link to the private video and see for yourself. Finally, something that's just stable, but can still produce, right? So cool. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk with you again real soon. This was like the most relaxed video
I know
think I've ever shot. We're just talking here.
we should do this again sometime.
See ya.
Okay, see you guys.